Welcome to this episode of TechCondo. We are live today, a little bit earlier than normal. I just wanted to just hang out with you quickly and just for a few minutes talk about my network, which I've been working on today for a long period of time, and just wanted to see if I am live. That is correct, and yep. So yes, so welcome everyone again. Welcome to the show. And if you are new here, TechCondo is a show where we together geek out on technology, on geeky stuff, and just hang out and have some fun. And you're here in my studio, and normally you do not see this part right there. This part is normally covered with some nice backdrops, but today I thought it would be cool just to let you be part of it and to see how everything is looking. um, Anyway, that's the most important thing that I wanted to say to you. So today we're going to talk about my studio. So my studio network was actually a network that was based on Apple products, and that has changed. And yes, let's just start the show and talk about it a little bit further. See you around. Again, welcome to the show. Welcome to TechCondo. My name is Petra Verbruggen. I come from the Netherlands, and TechCondo.net is the website where you can follow me, but also support me. So go for support to TechCondo.net. And if you do that, you become a roommate, and you will be one of those people that you will see here below. So yes, my network. Just let's start with the idea. Hey, welcome, Dad. How are you? Echo Tepper is my dad. Let's start with the whole reason why we started with this, and I see them clipping a bit, so let me get a little bit less of audio. All right, so why have I started to change my network? So actually, the full reason, the first free reason was Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi network within my condo, it's not a big condo at all, but it was poor to say the least. Troubles with getting connection here in the studio because my Wi-Fi was actually in the living room, and now actually I have bought a how do you say that, the access point from Ubiquiti, and that is really amazing. It works like a charm. It's really going great. I have to admit, maybe I need to add a separate instance access point, but at this moment I am not going to do that. First of all, I want to just start with what I've got right now. I think it's already as professional as it can be in a condo. So I am actually going to a slide deck that I've created for you guys, and I will also start up a screen share with you because hey, we can do that. This was not, I did not really anticipate that up front, but I think that looking at how things are going, let's do that anyway. So I am going to go ahead and show you how everything is looking. In the meantime, I am getting a NDI source called, and then the display, and clicking on it, and then I'll just go into this one and add that as a source, and then it should be visible to you almost, because I'm not happy with this. So I am going to change it slightly to be there. Okay. All right, let's do this. So this is what it's. So this is. Oh, little first. Let's go back to what I just said. So I have been working to get my Apple gear out and getting new stuff in, and I've been doing that the last couple of months. And like you will see in this total series of TechCondo. Don't buy everything at once. Start with small and add to it, because that's the way that you can actually do that over time. So looking at this slide, you see that in January 2018, this year, I actually added the access point, and with the access point, I was able to at least already start to do the work so that I can actually have a Wi-Fi system. But I also wanted to have some security, so I added the security gateway, which is the second piece of hardware which I got. I actually swapped it with my dad, who actually bought my Raspberry Pi, and I bought his security gateway. The next one is, and that was something that I've done this month. Actually, it came in this week. Is that I added a cloud control device and a switching desk, 16 ports switching switcher, and that is what I've done now, and I really think it worked very nicely, and now I have a full set. So what does it look like then? How does my current set look like? Well, let's show you. So it starts with Zigo, which is our cable provider here in Venray, where I have my studio, and it's 300 megabits down and 30 megabits up. Now 30 megabits is enough for 1 or 2 streams, but it's barely enough, but it will do because I don't have anything else and there's no fiber here. Fiber will be installed here in the next couple of years, but it's not there yet. There is an okay, so it will come, but yes, like always, it will take some time. This is the current situation as it is right now, right this second. So on the left hand side, you see a router, which is roughly the same one as I have here. I'm going to show it to you. This one. This is the one that I also had in my studio. It is a gigabit router. This one is it. There's a branding here which that you don't need to see. Netgear ProSafe, and it's really going well. However, it's not a managed system, not really. Going back to the slide, you also see on the right hand side the full-blown system here in the studio. So this is the whole setup. So I have an access point, I have the key, and I have the switching deck as well. And this is what it looks like in real life. So here you can see, so on top of it, that's the audio device. So that's the device that you hear me talking into. But below that, you'll see the 16 port hub, and there's also the key that's lying on top of it with the blue light. So that is the setup as it is right now, and it is a tremendously nice product. It serves as a PoE device, meaning that it actually can also provide power to my cameras. So these are the cameras that I have that you also see, and it is really working like a charm. It is really working great, and I am really happy with the result of that. So yes, so basically that is the setup that I have until now, but that doesn't mean that I'm ready yet, because like I said, you always need to make sure that you are adding complexity all the time. So what I've done, and going back to the slide that you already saw, so this is the one that I have now, but this is what it's going to be in the near future. So I will also add the home network. So I want to have one network to rule them all. So that's my studio, which is here, but also the rest of my condo, my apartment, also needs some networking. And I decided on buying an 8-port switch for my home network, and this is something that I don't know for sure, so that I maybe would add an additional access point, but that will be not a full access point. That will be a light version of that. Moving on, this is what it will look like. There you go. So it has then two routers, one 8 ports, one 16 ports, and 2 times an access point, one light version and one pro version. And with that, the whole setup within the condo will be completed. And that's the way that I would like to do this. And I'm really looking forward to do that. The only thing is, like I said, I am building this in several months. So I actually have still two components to switch to change, and that will be something that I will do later on. So that is a very short update on my network. Also, I would love to show you the way that you can utilize the key, the cloud key. So I have internally a address that I can actually use. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Yep. Okay, I'll just show it to you right in a few seconds. Give it a little bit of time to log on, because I do need to log on that system, and that is something that you don't want to show people. So this is what it looks like when you're just on that network management. Also remote. Yes, it's also remote, but for now, this is what it looks like. So here you see the black parts, the outside world, so to speak. So you see I have a 23 millisecond latency, so that's kind of okay, I think. And then you also see the throughput. And here you have the different devices. So you have the WAN, which will be the security gateway right there. Going back to the dashboard, the LAN, that would be the security gateway and the studio switch. And the last one would be the Wi-Fi, and that is the studio AP. Now, there is also, when you install it, there is also a secret code, and I just removed that code by giving it a human readable name, so I can actually see what it is and how it looks like. So I can see here the download throughput and latency very nicely. I can see the upload throughput and latency. I can actually see the deep package inspection, what I do. So if I click on this, I see exactly what I use, and I can see that I have 51 gigs of for gaming. That's my PlayStation 4, my Nintendo, web. That can be all the other stuff that I'm doing. Some streaming media and network protocol. So this is really a very nice system. Also, for instance, if I click on for instance, apple.com, this one over here, you can also click on this one, and then you see that the Apple TV does this, the iPhone does this, the iPad does this, my MacBook Pro does that, and so that is a very nice overview on what it actually can do. So you have quite some interesting stuff to figure out here, and I think that's really cool. Let me see if I have more to show you very quickly. So the insights. So here you have loads of information on what are the clients that we have, the neighborhood access points. So these are the access points in the condo building. A lot of them. Too much to handle, and but it's a really very nice setup, and I am very glad with this. And I am also an IT specialist, so because of that, of course, I am interested in these kinds of stuff, and maybe you are too. So tell me what you think, and also after the fact, don't worry. Just say something after the fact. I will pay attention to my comments and talk to you if that is the case. That's it for today. I showed you that it's fully managed. I showed you the system. I showed you that the cameras were PoE, so no adapters anymore. And I also showed you that everything is working like it should. So that is awesome. And that is also all I have for today. Next Saturday, I will be back at 9 p.m. Central European Time, 8 p.m. if you live in the UK, 3 p.m. if you live on the eastern side of the US, and at noon if you live on the western side of the US. I have to admit that I'm a little bit like, maybe I'm gonna change that in the future because I would like to also see my friends at Geeks Live fully, and that's not possible at this moment. But we'll cross our bridge when we get there. But for now, it's still 9 p.m. At least until the end of this month. It's not going to change, and I will be back next Saturday. See you around. Bye.